So, oh my God, we had some big news just hit the other day. Kamaru Usman is going to fill in for Paulo Costa pulling out and take on Khamzat Chimaev on 1 week's notice. That is absolutely insane, and big respect to Kamaru Usman. He doesn't have to take this. This matchup for him, he has to travel from America. I think he's training at Killcliff now. Training from Killcliff, traveling all the way to Abu Dhabi to take on a bad matchup up a weight class in Khamzat Chimaev. Big respect. It takes a real BMF to take this matchup. So as much as I do not like Kamaru Usman's personality, I have to put a ton of respect on this man to actually go down with this and sign the contract to fight Khamzat Chimaev. It's crazy. We've had two real BMFs show up in Kamaru Usman and Volkanovski taking these fights on 1 week's notice to save this card and arguably making it a better card overall. I know Oliveira versus Makhachev was a huge matchup. I know that Paulo Costa versus Chimaev was a huge matchup, but I think overall these two matchups, in my opinion, are way more interesting. We kind of always wanted to see Chimaev versus Usman happen at welterweight. I know it's happening at 185, but this is still a great matchup that we were looking forward to down the line for Chimaev's career. Unfortunately, he's moving up to middleweight, but we're still getting what we want. We're still getting this crazy matchup, and I cannot be more thankful for Kamaru Usman. Fuck whatever I said about him. I like Kamaru Usman now. I kind of hope he wins, but I don't think he'll win. That's my big X factor in this. I don't think Kamaru Usman has what it takes right now in his career to beat a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, especially up a weight class. Here's the thing, I kind of alluded to it earlier. This is a really, and I mean a really, bad matchup for Kamaru Usman. What does Usman really thrive at in his game? It's offensive takedowns. And a guy like Chimaev, like we already know, this guy has pretty much insane takedown defense. Every single person that is from the Eastern Hemisphere, that's mainly from that, Chechnya, Dagestan area, has really good takedowns, offensive and defensive grappling. So I don't think Kamaru Usman is going to have a really fun time trying to take down Khamzat Chimaev, especially when we're having a heavier Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev was already a weight bully. He was already almost twice as big as some of the welterweights. Now he's up a weight class, and he's been out for, I think, over a year now. So he's going to be even bigger. He's been filling out his frame. He's been trying to get bigger this entire time. He's been putting on some muscle. We've seen pictures of Khamzat Chimaev putting on some muscle, flexing his back, flexing his biceps in the mirror. He has definitely packed on some size for this Paulo Costa fight. And Kamaru Usman, he's still been trying to fight at welterweight. He's still, been training and getting himself ready to fight at welterweight, and he won't be as big as Khamzat Chimaev. And I think when he's trying to take somebody down, because that is his game, he loves to pressure forward and try to take people down. I think when he's faced with a guy like Chimaev, who will put the pressure back onto Usman, I don't think we're going to see Usman on the front foot here, which is a huge X factor as well. I'll dive into that in a second. But how is he going to take down a guy who is so much bigger than him, who has a really accredited takedown defense or really good wrestling like Chimaev? It's going to be a big struggle for him in this matchup, and I don't see him having too much success. And back to the other point, him being on the back foot in Kamaru Usman, how is he going to fare on the back foot against a guy like Chimaev? Chimaev is a pressure-heavy guy. He's extremely aggressive. He wants to fly at you and shoot immediate takedowns and put the pressure on you like a guy like Gilbert Burns. We saw that in that matchup. He immediately went for the pressure-heavy style against Gilbert Burns, and it fared well for him. But I don't think we've ever seen Kamaru Usman on the back foot. When have we ever seen Usman trying to land counter shots, not being the one pressuring, not being the one leading the dance, not being the one trying to push the guy against the cage and shoot takedowns and get in that clinch and get a nice double leg or single leg? When have we ever seen Kamaru Usman do that? Never. I have never seen Kamaru Usman be on the back foot and have success, or be in the back foot in general. So all I can see right now is Chimaev walking down Kamaru Usman and just landing big shots on his chin And another question, how good is Kamaru Usman's chin? How granted is that chin after the damage he's taken in his career? I mean, listen, he got KO'd out cold by Leon Edwards. I know it was over a year ago. It's been a long time since that KO, but that kind of damage changes you for the rest of your career. Once you get that chin cracked, we've seen this time and time again with fighters, they're never the same. Their chin is typically always compromised. Now, sometimes there's an occasional Calvin Kattar who just gets a bunch of damage but never gets knocked down and then fights Giga Chikadze and then has that fucking amazing performance where his chin is absolutely solid and he just beats up Chikadze for 5 rounds. It can happen, but then again, Calvin Kattar never got put out cold by Holloway, and Kamaru Usman has been put out cold before, and I just don't think he'll have what it takes to beat a guy like Chimaev right now. I don't think he'll be able to do that. And Usman has had a lot of nagging injuries in his career. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about how his knees, or I think somebody was speaking for him about how his knees are so bad that he can't even run. I mean, he's had terrible knees, terrible joint issues. He's getting up there in age as well. I think he's 37 years old. I don't think he'll be entirely as good as he used to be. He'll definitely be coming into this probably healthy. I think Kamaru Usman is definitely 100% healthy coming into this. I don't think he would take this if he was injured or if he still had some nagging injuries. I think Usman will come into this, fully, probably 99 or 100% ready for Khamzat Chimaev in terms of health. But how's he going to fare when he's trying to take down Khamzat and he can't get a takedown? How's he going to fare when he eats a nice, huge right hand or a solid jab by Khamzat? How is he going to look when the pressure is on him and he's on the back foot trying to land counter shots? Because one thing about Kamaru Usman, he's always been able to take advantage of other fighters by pressuring them and implementing that takedown threat into their brain. Never by just having just the cleaner, crisper striking and being able to land crazy combinations that look super technical. That's never been a part of Usman's game. He's really just been mainly a takedown guy with his Division I credentials and wrestling. I don't know what we're going to see from Kamaru Usman. Then again, I think he'll be fine in the cardio range, but this is also a 3-rounder, so I don't see the cardio of Kamaru Usman playing too much of a factor as well, because there's not going to be enough time for him to go 5 rounds and put a pace on him. And maybe we might see Kamaru Usman in the 3rd round of this be able to take advantage of Chimaev, who might be gassed out, and land huge shots on him. And I think this will be kind of a close fight if it does go the distance, but I don't think this will go the distance. I don't think we're going to see Usman be at the top of his game, being fully prepared, because this is short notice. I think he'll be in shape. I think he'll have the better cardio, but I don't think he'll have all the other necessities to beat a guy like Chimaev. So I'm probably going to have to take Khamzat Chimaev by probably first or early second round TKO here. I think he'll probably chin Kamaru Usman, unfortunately, but then again, respect Kamaru Usman. And before I get out of here, I did see one thing that was posted, I think, by MMA Junkie or something that Dana White said. Dana White pretty much said that the winner of this fight will get the next title shot, and that means that Dricus du Plessis is being skipped out. Now, I think that this is absolute #1 bullshit. Dricus du Plessis does not deserve to be skipped out from the next title shot. He beat Robert Whittaker, and Whittaker was literally the only guy left that could at least challenge Adesanya at the time. He was the #1 contender. He had all the credentials. He beat everybody in the top 5 at middleweight. Whittaker was the guy to beat, and Dricus du Plessis went out there and KO'd him or TKO'd him. So to have a guy like Chimaev, who will, if he does beat Kamaru Usman, will only have one ranked win at middleweight, and it's against Kamaru Usman, who isn't even ranked at middleweight. Actually, neither of these guys are ranked at middleweight, so I think it's completely unfair for them to just go ahead and jump over Dricus du Plessis and give the winner of this fight a title shot, because then again, they don't have a ranked middleweight win like Dricus du Plessis has. Dricus has been in the middleweight division his entire UFC career. He's beaten Derek Brunson, which is, I guess, Derek Brunson, but he's beaten plenty of guys at middleweight. He has middleweight wins. He beat Whittaker, who is the best ranked middleweight, not named Sean Strickland or Adesanya right now. Like, he has all the credentials to earn a title shot against Sean Strickland, and they're going to go ahead and just jump over him with these two guys. I know that Kamaru Usman is a big name. He's a former champion. He has a bunch of credentials, and Chimaev's a huge name, and they want to push him to the top as soon as possible because it's been a long time coming for Chimaev. But I just don't understand why we're going to punish Dricus du Plessis for getting an injury and not taking a championship bout on 8 weeks' notice, on short notice, after fighting Whitaker. Doesn't make much sense to me. I think that Dricus du Plessis is 100% deserving on the next title shot, and I might have to see Chimaev or Usman get one more win at middleweight for them to get a title shot, but I don't know. I don't understand. It sucks for Dricus du Plessis. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we do see Dricus get the next title shot, or maybe he fights an Adesanya in the meantime, and then he hops over these guys. It's kind of how the UFC works: is this guy beats this guy, but this guy beat this guy, and it's a better win than that guy. So it's like we might see some weirdness go around, and there might be a possibility that Dricus du Plessis beats Adesanya, and it's like, oh my God, we can't deny this man a title shot anymore. So hopefully that happens. I don't know, but thank God. I'll dive deeper into this probably next week when I do my actual real breakdown. I'll give all the intricate details and break it down, like what this guy does best and what this guy does better. I'll get more detailed next week in my actual prediction video. So if you want to stay in for that one or follow up with this video to that one, go ahead and subscribe right now so you get that future videos. I do weekly predictions. Thank you. I know I kind of fumbled my way through that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching the video up to this point. I surely do appreciate it. Like and subscribe again and hit that bell icon for notifications. I'm out of here. Peace.